All right, mate. So we've identified by having the tools in your hand, you can't actually grab the arms, can you?
Yeah, no, because
So-
you lose point of contact with. You need full contact on the ladders. So.
Correct, correct. So what could you use as a professional? What could you use if I still want you to take the ladder and that drill up that ladder?
I'll put it on my nail bag, and I can put my hammer in my nail bag, and I can attach my
Okay,
drill
brilliant.
back over to
Yep.
the nail
So
bag.
put it on some form of equipment, harness,
Yeah.
or something where you can hang tools off yourself to keep it over your core or around your waist. Yeah, perfect. Exactly right.
I'll just grab one.
Actually, we'll do that demo in a second. I'll
Yeah.
get you to do that off the extension ladder.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, perfect. All right, now I'm thinking of working at a specific height where I need to be in a safe, stable position, and I need to be working above my head where 3 points of contact isn't going to come into play. What type of ladder would I look at using?
You need to look at the platform ladder just because it's got that base and it's got a safety harness type thing
Correct.
around you.
Correct. So this one here, my friend, is the platform ladder. Okay, so this will give us a standing height. Remember how this one here is only giving us a standing height of approximately this far for such a high ladder?
Yeah.
This ladder here is going to give us a standing height at 2 meters, just over 2 meters, safely. Safely. Big broad platform, and look at the size of this platform up here to stand on. So it's a safe area to work from. Okay?
Can you get these in multiple sizes?
They come in 1 rung increments every time. So you can start at one platform here, or you can get one which is a platform here, or a platform here, or a platform here. They're multiple sizes. They're fairly lightweight, they're easily enough to move around, and they're fairly safe. Now, you'll notice the footprint of this ladder to this ladder. You see it's much broader versus quite a considerable distance.
Yes.
All right, this ladder has got a broader footprint, so it means that you can now get to a higher height with more of a footprint. I want you to demonstrate what I've shown you on that ladder, how to move up this ladder and stand safely at that platform. Do that for me. We're going quick assess. Good man. Everything's down, nice and tight. Yep.
Everything looks
How do the
good.
feet look? They look pretty good.
Yeah, the feet look all good.
Yep. Okay, brilliant. All right, my friend. I'll get you to.
Are they here just for like a stabilizer?
They are. So they're an accessory point. So you can put in a drop-down leg or a wheel. So you might get a point where you can move it around on a wheel by picking this side here up and actually coast it around.
Yeah.
But then when you apply weight, because they're on a spring, you'd pop your feet back hard to the ground.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
All right. Show me your 3 points of contact and make your way all the way to the top. Are you confident to go all the way up?
Yep.
Okay. Excellent. Now, which way should you face on that ladder?
Should still be facing.
You should
back
be
in.
facing the same way you
Where the
went
bar
up.
is.
So that safety barricade at the top there is at the front of your body.
Yep.
Because if you turn around and face towards myself, you've now no longer got a safety barricade.
Yep.
So you actually need to reassess the ladder, rotate the ladder around, and face it the direction that you need to apply yourself.
Face it in the correct direction.
Correct. So correct ladder placement is key with this ladder.
Yep.
Now, can you show me how to come down from that ladder? Everything should be in reverse. 3 points of contact. Perfect. Perfect. All right. Let's move on over. I will get you to put your nail bag on now.
Yep.
All right, because we're going to have another look at another ladder. We're going to have a look at another ladder, I should say. And I'm pretty confident you're familiar with this ladder, but we'll go and have a look over it, and we'll run through some basic fundamentals of it.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
I'll just put this nail bag on. You want
Bring
the
over, bring
hammer
over
and
your
the
hammer and drill for me. Make our way over here. Now, what have we got set up over here?
We've got an extension ladder at the moment set up.
We have an extension ladder. Okay, do you understand the concept of the extension ladder?
Just to get more height on where you're trying to get up to.
Yeah.
Obviously, you can't always have a A-frame ladder to get right up the top there.
Correct. Now, what is something that's totally different between those two ladders and this ladder? This ladder must what?
Has to have a ratio of 1:4, so 4 meters high to 1 meter out.
Okay, so what is this ladder trying to do? It can only do one thing. It can't be standing up independently. It must be what?
Has to be
leaning against something. Okay, so you're spot on correct. So the fundamentals of this ladder is it must be leaning against something. It must be against the wall, against the roof system,
Still to
against the
make
beam.
that triangle.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly right. We're still creating that triangle.
Yeah.
Exactly right. Same as the A-frame ladder. There's one thing about this ladder which makes these much more dangerous than a standard ladder, standard A-frame ladder, and that's that you're going to be working at much more considerable heights. Having safety lanyards or safety fall rest systems might not be a good system for this ladder. Okay, you still fall from the ladder and you pull the ladder off yourself, off and over onto yourself. Okay, so this ladder here is great, but it's a much more unstable ladder. Right, so back to what we were talking about with the ratio. That's spot on. You're right. It's 1:4. Now I already know that this roof is around about 3.5 meters high.
Yeah.
So roughly, what ratio should I have at the bottom? If we're talking
You're
4 to 1, and we're nearly 4, we will still be working around about what?
You're looking around that 800-900 mark.
The 900 to a meter mark.
Yeah.
Okay. Now remember, this is the minimum.
Yeah, you don't want to.
You don't want the ladder too far out because there's a very good chance the ladder could slip out. You don't want the ladder too tall because there's a very good chance the ladder could teeter back over because you've lost that brace.
Yeah, that angle.
Another thing with this ladder, if they are not stable, there's a very good possibility to slide and fall.
So what would be the best way to apply this ladder back so it doesn't want to teeter sideways or teeter back?
Okay, yeah, alright, so to answer your question, the best way would be to apply a safety restraint. Okay, so that's a restraint that at the top of the ladder, I'll get this to stand out straight. So up around about here, on the back side of the ladder, you tie up a restraint and connect it to the roof. So that would prevent this from happening. It's going to prevent this from happening and this from happening. But that ladder restraint's only going to go so far. Okay, we need to look at our grounding at the feet too. If you've got uneven land, okay, these ladders are not very friendly. They'll roll, they'll articulate, and they'll slide and fall. You'll barely get that high and you'll fall off your ladder.
Yeah.
So you must ensure that you're on flat, even ground. So when I say flat, even ground, I mean level. It must be level. If it's slightly unlevel, you need to dig your feet in a little bit if it's soft ground. Correct. To get the ground level.
Okay.
Alright? Now, with this ladder, we also must extend the ladder 1 meter past our egress point, meaning where we're getting on and off the roof, floor, whatever we're getting on and off to.
Is
Okay?
that just so when you're coming back down, you've got something to grab onto?
Spot on. Have you ever been up a ladder where they've had it down really low and you get to the roof edge and you're going like this, trying to get yourself, you lose that sense of confidence.
Yeah.
But if you can safely grab something out of a meter and go this, make your way around the ladder, find your feet, and then start moving your way down. Okay? So I'm going to demonstrate this one for you. Now I'm going to reassess the distance without a center. All right, at the moment it's at a meter and 30. Okay, so there's my 1:4. Okay? Again, same principle. Go around, check it in, make sure it's sitting flat. Make sure that the lock is locked in place. Make sure everything that's out of the way is out of the way. Now, first thing I'd do before I even put this ladder up, I'd assess the property and make sure there's no overhead power lines. That also includes telco lines coming in because they can hold a charge.
Is there a certain distance you have to be away with these aluminium
There
rods
is, there is. So for standard residential overhead power lines, 3 meters.
Yep.
Alright? If you're talking high tensile lines, you'd be hard pressed getting these up near high tensile lines, but anything which is taking more than standard 415 current, okay, you'd need to be using 6 meters distance, okay? And that is subject to environment. So if it's an overcast day like it is today, or there's a lot of moisture in the air, you might need to extend that distance because the current can still travel through the moist atmosphere. Okay? Right, so again, 3 points of contact. I've assessed my ladder, I'm pretty confident with it. 1 foot. Move your hand up, hand up, hand up, Now, this is where it gets tricky, right here, because the ladder is under itself, so we need to be able to step out and over where the ladder doubles up on itself. So, out and up, out and up, hands again, and up, and up, hands again, up, and up. And now I can start to make my way up onto the roof. I probably should have taken another step. Okay? The whole premise of having the ladder up at this high is now I can grab my ladder, be confident, make sure it's neat and tidy, it's not leaning off to one side like this. Make sure it's sitting level, which it is. Now, if you've got your restraint in place, even better. If you don't have your restraint in place, hold your ladder, be confident, step around onto your ladder, center of the ladder, two hands still held onto it, and very gently, with everything in reverse. I don't believe in lifting your hands off and on. I prefer to slide down systematically.
Yeah.
Now, the negatives to that is, if you're like me and wear a wedding ring, you must be careful, because it's very easy to get caught on things, and that's how you lose your finger, or deglove your finger. So be vigilant. Okay? Now this, again, that's a tricky step. Right there.
You've got to be careful of that tricky step coming back down, don't you?
Correct. And down, and down, and down, and there we are. Alright, now I want you to demonstrate that for me. Could you? Alright, now stop there for me. Before you exit the roof, I won't even worry about you going on the roof.
Yep.
Now, I want you to work all the way over here. What do you think could happen?
The ladder could go with me as I'm trying to
The
lean
ladder
across.
could go that way,
And I've
or
just- and I've
will
just-
go that way.
Will go that way.
The
and
ladder will go that way.
I've just lost my 3 points of contact as well.
One, you've lost your 3 points of contact. You may actually still be holding if your hand's there and you're just using your drill.
Yeah.
But there's a good chance that once you start moving yourself off the center of that ladder, of falling to the side, because now your weight balance isn't straight up and down with the ladder, it's now leaning off to the side. Excuse me. Okay, so you might find leaning off to the side may work if I've got it harnessed at the top,
Yep.
or I've got this tied back and braced. So say you were utilising these poles and you had a tie back system to each pole, you might find that might brace it up and I can work off to the side.
Yeah.
But make it good practice to relocate your ladder as close to your work as possible, because you start using those tie back braces, everything's all good, your confidence builds up, and then you become complacent because you know you're not going to fall. The next time you apply that ladder elsewhere, your brain's telling you it's fine, it's safe, I'm not going to go anywhere, until you lean out and then all of a sudden you're back down on the ground here. Okay, would you like to continue all the way out to the roof? Are you confident with that?
I'll go up the roof.
Okay, can you show me please? Whoa. Bit unnerving when it does that, isn't it?
Oh yeah, starts sliding a little bit, yeah.
Makes you have a bit of a think.
Yeah.
So how could, while I'm standing here, I've actually put you in harm's way, how could I have potentially mitigated that for you?
Just making sure that last step wasn't like underneath the gutter.
One was the main thing.
Tie it back down to the roof.
Or
You do it.
get someone, no, get someone to hold the ladder for you.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Okay.
Stabilise it a little bit.
Stabilise
Yeah.
it. So you're coming up and down the roof. If you're a lone soldier and you're doing it by yourself, you may want to brace yourself.
Yeah.
If you've got another person like myself on site, get them to hold the ladder for you. Having that extra pair of hands could potentially combat that kick out.
Yeah.
Okay? As you're coming down, if you're not on a abrasive surface and it's slippery, you may apply your boots at the back of the ladder as well. Until you get down to a safe height where you can get them out of your way and you can continue down safely. If you don't have that and you're on a slippery substance, a slippery floor, let's say a timber floor, because they are very slippery.
Yeah.
Okay? You can apply a piece of timber screwed off to the flooring right in front of it to stop the feet from kicking out.
Yeah, just to brace it up down the bottom
Yes.
as well.
You could, say you were going up to a joist system where you want to step up onto a deck, you might get yourself up and then tie your ladder off even to the joisted bearer so it's held at that point.
Yeah.
And now that ladder's secure for anyone who uses it. Okay? Alright, so as I was explaining, I'm going to hold the ladder for you this time.
Yeah.
And I'll get you to safely make your way down. 2 points on the hands and slowly start making your way down. Now as you are the operator of the ladder, you still need to have a level of duty of care nonetheless for the people below holding the ladder for you. So be aware of what tools and equipment you're carrying.
Yeah.
So you might say to me, okay, look mate, I'm going to be going up this ladder, I've got a drill, I've got a hammer, and I've got a bag full of screws. I think it's a good idea that you apply a hard hat and some eye protection at the very least, okay? Because if you're coming down for whatever reason, you bump stuff, your screws fall out of your bag and land in my eyes, then I'm having a bad day. Your drill dislodges off your bag, it comes down, hits me in the head, I'm having an even worse day. And so on and so forth. So again, the operator still has duty of care to the people who are working around underneath him.
Okay.
All right, mate, make your way down. That's brilliant. All right, and now I'll slowly get out of the way. Perfect. So you feel confident with the ladders now?
Yeah.
Okay, excellent.
Confident on them, yeah.
Excellent. All right. Thank you very much. Appreciate your time.
Well, thank you.
Good man.